everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and all the supplies that I use you can purchase from Stampin' Up through me at the address at the top of the screen. It's also linked below. My project today is a square box. Well, it's mostly square except for this 3/4 inch top, which is it's like a flat. I don't know if you can see. Different than I've done the tops before. I think it's cool. The box measures 2.5 by 2.5 by 1.5. Alrighty, and inside this box I have some little trinkets that I bought at the craft store. Name unmentioned. They're 3 little cars, and they're little pullback cars. So this would be something I would definitely put in my kids' stockings about 8 or so years ago. I still give them a stocking, but I don't give them toys. Mostly little toys that are funny, but so that's what is inside. But of course you could fit whatever you like. 3 of these, and these are about 2 inches by 1.25, so they fit 3 standing up in there. I thought they were really cute. I also used some of the beautiful cherry cobbler and gold ribbon, the metallic ribbon, which is retiring. Both of these are retiring. Once they're gone, they're gone. I don't think there's a sale on these. Some things have a percentage off, but these are just, once they're gone, along with the Sweet Stockings DSP is also being retired, of course, since this is the Sweet Little Stockings stamp set along with the stocking dies. Okay, so what we need, now we can get 2 of these boxes out of 1 sheet of cardstock. This, we use one that is exactly 8.5 by 5.5, so it's exactly half. So we need that out of Evening Evergreen. I cut a stocking using the stocking dies out of the DSP, but you can, they do have the stamps in here, my little scraps. They do have the 3 stocking stamps that you can color them your own way if you'd like to, or like I did, you just cut it out of the DSP. Okay, we need also from the dies, I cut these 2 little sprigs, one out of Evening Evergreen and one out of Old Olive. From the same DSP, we need 2 pieces for the front and back that are 2.25 by 2.25, 2 for the sides that are 1.25 by 2.25, and 2 for the top pieces that are 1/2 by 2.25. Alrighty, and a scrap of basic white. Alright, so I'm going to get my Simply Scored, and we're going to start on the 8.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 3, 4.5, and 7. Then we're going to turn it to the 5.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1.5, 4, and 4 3/4. All right. Then I'm going to fold and burnish, and we still have about a week and a half left to our joining special, which is no obligation. $75 for $125 worth of product that you pick and free shipping, and you get 20% off future orders for 3 months. And if you decide to continue after the 3 months is up, then you continue to get the discount. If not, you just let it expire. Alrighty. Okay, so we have 2 3/4 inch strips at the top, a 1/2 inch skinny rectangle on the left side, and a 1.5 strip on the bottom. So that's how our cardstock looks. And this is what we're going to do. Alrighty. The bottom is pretty much as we usually do. We get rid of this, this rectangle, and then cut the rectangle straight and wedge the squares. And then for this one, we have 2 flaps here that are exactly the same. So we're going to keep the flaps, get rid of this side, and these 2 rectangles at the top. All right, so again, with the skinny rectangle on the left-hand side and the 2 3/4 strips at the top. This rectangle at the bottom we're going to get rid of. We're going to cut it straight, and then we're going to wedge up a little bit. Okay. Go to the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight up to the first score line, skip the square, cut this side of this rectangle side straight, and then wedge a little piece out of each side of the square. Okay. Move to the other side of this rectangle, cut up to the score line straight, and then wedge a little bit out of each side of the square next to it. Okay. Now we're going to turn it 180, so what's left of our skinny rectangle is on the right-hand side. Okay. These 2 rectangles stacked on top of each other, we're going to cut to the second score line. We're going to get rid of the rectangle at the top, and we're just going to wedge a little piece off of each side of these rectangles. Okay, move to the other side of this section here and cut it straight up to the second score line. Skip these 2 for now and cut next to it straight. Let's get rid of this top rectangle here. And then we're going to wedge a little bit off each side of this, because these are going to be the inside flaps, so we don't want them to stick out the sides, so we take a little piece off. Okay, now move to the other side of these 2 here, these rectangles that are our second flap. There's 2 rectangles that are smaller here. We're going to cut up to the second score line and then wedge into this, what's left of the skinny rectangle. Okay, now we need to take our corner rounder, detail trio punch, and we're going to round both corners of both flaps. And this is what your cardstock should look like after you score it, cut it, and round the corners. Okay, now we're going to put tear and tape on what's left of the skinny rectangle close to the score line. I'm going to get my take your pick tool. I wouldn't be able to live without this. Okay, just roll back any of the adhesive that's over the sides. Now flip it over. Close one side down and close the other side on top of it. Okay, now this is our back. We're going to put the sides down and the back, and this is where we're going to put 2 more strips. This is the back of the front flap, the bottom flap. And I'm going to put 2 just in case something goes in there that's heavy. And it's wide, so it's a good idea to have 2 so there's no gaping. Okay, and then we're going to make sure it's nice and even and push down, and then just push down on the inside to make sure that it gets all nicely adhered. All right, now we can put some DSP. Okay, so we need our liquid glue. And we need 2 front and back pieces that are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, and then the side pieces that are 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, and then the 2 pieces that are on the top here, which are 1/2 by 2 1/4. Okay, and so we're just going to leave that to dry for a minute. And what we need is our sentiment and the candy cane stamp. And we're going to use cherry cobbler ink. And I'm going to put the candy canes. We need 2 candy canes. So I'm going to put 1 and 2. And then, I don't know if this is big enough for this. Yes. Okay, we want to just put our For You sentiment in the middle here. And then we will cut these and these with the dies. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have our sentiment and our 2 candy canes. We also have the 2 sprigs of greenery and our stocking. First we have to color in the candy cane. I'm going to use dark cherry cobbler. And I'm just going to darken every other one of the sections on the candy canes. Okay. All right, and what I want to do is I'm going to get some Stampin Seal. I'm just going to put it on the top of the back of our stocking. All right, and I'm going to put this sprig here sticking up next to the little edge of the stocking. I'm just going to press it on the back. I want to sneak, oopsie, I'm going to sneak in one of these. Let me see if I can put one of the candy canes right there next to the sprig. Then I'm going to put the other candy cane. It's going to go right about right here. So I'm going to tuck this little sprig kind of in, well, I'm going to put it on like that, and then I'm going to kind of put a little bit of the sprig in front of this back candy cane, and then put the other candy cane kind of in front of it and hanging over the top of our stocking. See? Okay, then I'm just going to get some dimensionals. I'm going to put them over part of the sprigs and the candy canes so that it holds it nicely, and then some more on the bottom in the middle. All right, now this one I went like this. This one I'm going to try to straighten up just a little bit. Okay, and just press that down. Okay, and then it holds all your sprigs in there nice, and you don't have to mess with liquid glue and with the canes and the greenery there. All right, now we need to put our cars in, or whatever it is you're going to put in, candy or another small gift, and close it. All right, make sure the sides are even. I'm going to take a hole punch. I'm going to punch 2 holes. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to get my metallic cherry cobbler ribbon, which has a little strip of gold on it. Oops, right there. Very pretty. This is retiring. It's not carrying over. Alright, and then I'm going to punch a hole in the top of the tag, and I'm going to make this a little bit longer so that I have enough. And I'm going to put it on the right side of the ribbon. And just pull it down. the edge. And then I'm going to tie a bow. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim these. Alright, and then for the final touches, I'm going to use some Gilded Gems and some 2021 to 2023 in color jewels. And I ran out of the little evening evergreen, so I'm going to have to use the big ones. On this one, I used the little ones on the tag. Alright, so I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, but these are very, very strong adhesive on these. So this little pick-upper, I call it, it doesn't work. So I'm going to flip it over. It'll work, but it takes a lot. I'm just going to flip over to the other side from my paper piercer, I guess that's called. And I'm going to put a big one down here and two little ones towards the top. Oh, you know what? If I can get that off, I'll put a little one over here and another big one up here. All right, that's it for them. And then with the in color jewels, I'm going to put the evening evergreen. I'm going to put, I don't know if I can fit 3. Yeah, I can. Of the bigger ones. I'm going to put 3 on the tag. Okay, and that's it. Alrighty, I hope, I don't know if you can see here. Oops, let me pull this down a little bit. There we go. The little tag with the gems, and then the front with the gems. I love this little stocking. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate the time you spend here. I really do, and the lovely comments I get. They're just wonderful. I have some people that always comment, and I'm so thankful for you. You cheer up my day a lot. If you have any questions, my contact information is below, and the link to my blog that has all the measurements is below. Also, the link to join as a member of my team or just to get the offer. And my link to purchase Stampin' Up! Products. And have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye!